Scene 1. On a spring day in 1841, Solomon Northup was walking around, looking for a job. Two strangers stopped him.
Hey,
Me?
Yes, you, walking like a zombie. It seems that you are going nowhere.
are you looking for a job?
Um,
I'm Merrill Brown and he's Avron Hamilton. Follow us, we can help you. We work in a circus, Mr. Northup. At the moment, our circus is in Washington, waiting to start a summer tour. We're taking a short break and having a look around Saratoga.
We would like to do a few shows on a journey back to Washington. A friend of yours has told us about your excellent violin playing. The round trip is free and it is a high-paying job. Would you come with us as our musician, just as far as New York?
well, alright. I'll accept your offer, gentlemen. I've never visited New York City, and right now I need a job.
Solomon, Merrill, and Abram left immediately. They had some shows in small towns and then arrived in New York. Solomon expected to return to Saratoga, but the two men asked Solomon to continue to work with them in Washington with them with an order of paying more money. So Solomon went to Washington with them. They arrived in the evening and stayed in a hotel.
Today's performance is a great success. It's time to celebrate. Want some wine?
No thanks. I'm not quite sure about drinking. I have never drunk.
Please be consistent with Kansas.
No need to be afraid of anything. We're friends.
But shall I forget everything if I drink?
Okay, are we friends? If yes, drink it.
I know you're a clever one.
What?
He fainted. Scene 2.
Hey, anyone here? May I know what's going on?
Time flew. Someone walked up the stairs.
Hey boy, are you okay? How do you feel now?
Oh, I'm sick. Who are you and where am I?
You have been sold to Jim Bush. That is me. I'm going to send you to a slave market where I can sell you for a good price. Ha ha ha! Boy, why aren't you scared? After all, I'm quite scary.
Sir, I'm a freeman. I live in Saratoga with my family. It's impossible for you to sell me as a slave. I'm not a slave. Ah! Ah!
Who gives you the permission to speak to me in such a disrespectful tones?
You! Ah! 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 Ah!
Be quiet. Be quiet, boy. Listen, you are owned by me already.
Sir, I'm a freeman. Ah! Ah! Sir, I'm a freeman. Ah! Ah!
Are you a free man, boy?
Yeah, I'm a freeman. Ah! Ah!
Boy, if you say you are a free man again, I will sweep you to death. Stop. Oh, by the way, you are called Black from now on.
Solomon was being imprisoned in a dark room day and day. After a few weeks, James Burge sold some slaves, including Solomon, to a slave market. Scene 3. On the other day, Solomon and other slaves were taken to the slave market. Solomon will be sold at any time.
No, no, do not buy my son. I can do anything for you. Please, no.
They may never see each other again. Hours later, a man called William Ford used $1,000 to buy Solomon.
Let's take a rest, guys.
Wow, he's really rich. Maybe he is a kind man. Should I tell him a story? Oh no, I shouldn't. I shouldn't tell him. Maybe he's just pretending to be kind.
Scene 4. Ford sent Solomon to Indian Creek and worked with a group of Ford's slaves. Solomon built a raft and then began the journey of armory. Everyone was surprised. People called Solomon the cleverest slave in the Pine World. However, a wise man, Tibis, who came to do the construction work of Ford's house, didn't like that Solomon became his assistant. He thought Solomon is better than him. He felt jealous of that.
Well, guys, I'm not clever enough.
At night,
Get up before the daylight and fetch a bag of nails from Overseer Chapin. Get back here to the kitchen house and start putting up the east wall.
the next morning, Solomon worked in the kitchen house. After a while, Tibis appeared.
I thought I told you to build the east wall.
Yes, I'm doing it now.
I told you to get a bag of nails from Chapin.
Yes, I did.
But you got the wrong size. Hey, Solomon, do you think you are the cleverest slave in the Pioneers?
Of course no, sir.
But you act like you are, and you think you are the cleverer than me, and you are good enough to take my place. Remember, you are just a slave. Take off your shirt.
Master Tibets, I will not take off my shirt.
How dare you! I'll pull your heart out, and you will die for this. Help! Help!
After a while, Chapin walked past.
What's going on? Please stop doing that, otherwise you and Tibis will be punished.
Master Tibets want to whip me for using those nails.
They are too large.
I'm the overseer here. I told Platt to use those nails. It is not his fault.
After discussing with Chapin, away from Solomon, Tibis left.
Stay where you are. Don't try to leave the plantation. Tibis is a bad man and there will be trouble.
An hour later, Tibis returned with two white men.
That's him. Roll him to the tree.
Stop! Gentlemen, if you pull that rope any tighter, I will shoot you. Tibis, I have wanted to whip you myself many times. Master Ford owns that slave. If you kill him, you have to pay $400 to Master Ford, and you have no right to kill him. There is a law for the slave as well as white men.
Chapin ordered Tibis' friends to stay away, but he didn't help Solomon. Solomon had nothing to eat all day and was in great pain. As the sun was going down, Ford went back to the house and then walked straight up to Solomon.
Poor Platt, I'm sorry to find you like this.
Oh, thank God that you have come at last.
The next morning, Solomon went back to work on the kitchen house. Tibis woke up during the morning and began to work. They completed the job and Tibis said nothing about what had happened. Scene 5. Master Ford sold Solomon to another man, Edwin Epps. He grew cotton on his plantation. Solomon and other slaves needed to pick cotton on the fields. One night, Hetty, the most hardworking girl, who worked in the cotton field, went to the dorm to find Solomon.
Platt, you awake?
I am.
I have a request. Platt, please end my life. I aren't living here anymore.
Patsy, have you thought it through?
I thought about it long and hard.
How can you fall into such despair?
How can you not know? I'm fed up. I'm fed up with living like a zombie. Even if I work hard every day, I still suffer all kinds of humiliation. Platt, please.
Sorry, I can't.
Scene 6. It was a beautiful day and the sun lit up the fields. Master Epps called for Patsy loudly, but nobody had seen her. She returned 2 hours later from the neighbor's house. The neighbor's name was Shaw, and he had a black wife, who was very kind to Patsy.
Where have you been, girl?
I was seeing Mr. Shaw.
You were lying. You went to see Master Shaw, didn't you?
No, master.
Master Epps didn't believe Patsy, and he gave Patsy a hard and terrible punishment.
Ah! 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 Ah!
After seeing Patsy be tortured, Solomon was more determined to escape. Scene 7. In the summer of the same year, Master Epps decided to build a new house. He employed some wise builders and took Solomon out of the fields to help them. Solomon worked with a man called Bates, who loved to discuss justice.
Master Bates, which part of country are you from?
I was born in Canada. Do you know where it is?
Yes, I know. I've been there. I'm not joking. I've been to Montreal and New York too.
Well, you know Canada. What are you doing here? You are a slave, but it seems you know more than what I expected.
I've kept my history secret here. I'm afraid to speak to you too, but I believe I can trust you.
I promised you I won't say a word to Epps.
Solomon told Bates everything about himself. After that, Bates wrote a letter for Solomon to Mr. Henry Northup. Solomon kept waiting for the reply. Scene 8. A week after Christmas, 2 wise men rode out to the house. They got off their horse and started to walk through the cotton fields towards the slaves.
Where is Solomon Northup?
Oh, Mr. Harry Northup! Oh, thank God!
Solomon, I'm glad to see you. Drop that cotton bag. Your slave days are over. Come with us to find this man Epps.
On the way to the house, Mr. Henry Northup gave Solomon updates on his family.
Why didn't you tell me, Platt?
I told the slave dealer Birch that I was a freeman and he nearly whipped me down.
Who wrote the letter for you?
Perhaps I wrote it myself.
I know it wasn't you. I'll find him. I pay you good money. How am I going to get that back?
Oh, Platt, you're going to be free and will never see you again. You saved me from being whipped so many times. I'm glad for you. But what's going to happen to me?
The sheriff and Mr. Northup got on their horse. After saying goodbye to friends, Solomon climbed onto the third horse and rode away.
I'm a freeman. My name is Solomon Northup.